What is up, beautiful people of this world? Welcome to the greatest scootering podcast in the entire nebula. My name is Will Cashin, aka White Trash Willie, but I have some really special guests with us today. So, special guests, introduce yourselves.
What up, guys? It's Hunter Frost.
What's up, guys? It's Grant Lewis.
So, I got some pretty cool cats on the show today because you two are some pretty cool guys. So, I first wanted to start off with something because I think that this is an interesting pattern that I've observed within scootering. Take the big glasses off. But I would say, and maybe this isn't official. Official starting of scootering was actually in the 1920s. That's when the very first scooter was created.
Okay.
But this show's geared towards people who use scooters for tricks. And I would classify the birth of that being in 2010 when the aftermarket scooter parts, like the very first one, started to like come out. I feel like that was like the beginning of our scene, right?
Yep.
And at that time there was these pros, right? There was these pros that were like emerging. Mm-hmm. And I think about like those pros were the people, like 2010 pros, those pros were the people that I looked up to.
Yeah.
Right? And I would say that every 5 years there's like this new refresh with like who the pros are in scootering, who like the top people are in scootering. And I would say that I got onto the 2015 wave, like around the same time as Tanner, around the same time as the Funk Bros. It was kind of just that YouTube wave.
Yeah. And
I feel like that carried Clayton and I into like what Undialed is now. And for most people getting into the scene, it's like Undialed is this big thing, but it's like that's only been happening for 5 years now, you know?
Yeah.
But we're coming to like a really cool time in scootering right now where I feel like that 5 year thing, the same way that I looked at the pros that were big in 2010, it's like is the same way that I feel like y'all's generation, like you guys are like the next like 5 year like area, like your age, your demographic, your skill level, like you guys are what we were at your age in 2015 is nowhere close to what you guys are, you know. So it's a healthy progression.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's really important to address this age group of scootering because this age group of scootering I feel like is by far the most talented group of scootering, just because scooters have improved. There's been a higher bar raised.
Yeah, for sure.
And I really just want to talk to you about scootering from like your guys' perspective. I mean, the only thing you ever own in life is your own perspective. And I feel like it'd be really cool to speak about like what got you guys to this point. Because you guys are some pretty cool dudes. You guys are traveling all over the country, I feel like all of the time. I look at either of you guys' story. You guys are in Tahoe, I feel like half of the time. You guys are going somewhere. So what inspired this? And you guys are kind of like a duo in a way too. Like not, you guys don't own a company together, but like you guys
definitely build off each other.
That's what I'm saying.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I feel like what inspired you guys to just really want to take on the scootering endeavor?
At first, it wasn't really scootering. Can you get closer to the mic? Sorry. Oh, at first it wasn't really scootering to pursue. I grew up always in action sports from the day that I was born. Mm-hmm. Like literally at 2 years old, I learned how to ride my bike with no training wheels, skateboards down the driveway. Like I didn't even have a scooter back then because all they had was little janky razors. So I was always just on a skateboard and a bike and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so it eventually just progressed from there as I was always skateboarding in Vegas as a little kid. I got sponsored by local skate shops doing that. I just always thought it was something I was going to be able to do when I was younger. I was always like, I'm going to be a professional skateboarder along with action sports, which didn't end up happening. But along the lines of that, I got sponsored by skateboarding, and that made me I lost my train of thought.
So you were in Vegas. You were doing all the different sports, and then you got sponsored for skateboarding?
Okay, yeah, I got sponsored for skateboarding, and that kind of always like pushed me because growing up, kids told me that, not kids, but people, like you're going to be like Tony Hawk one day.
Yeah.
And I always just was like, believed it, or for some reason felt it inside me like, damn, why are all these people telling me like I'm gonna be like these famous people or something?
Yeah.
And it kind of just like always grew in me to progress in action sports, or just it gave me a drive for action sports in general. And I moved from Vegas to California, which had actually got me into scootering because nobody rode skateboards back there, or nobody rode skateboards in Vacaville. They were all on scooters, and I was like, I want to ride one of these. Like, everybody's doing it. I should too.
Yeah.
Like, it's sick. And I've just watched over, like, so all my local riders, they were definitely big inspirations because a lot of them were, like, basically upcoming pro riders, like James Dixon, Brian Castro, Kyle Moses. All of them were just upcoming pros for me as a kid. So looking up to them when I first got into the scootering scene, like, kind of thrived for me to push more than just being a little scooter kid or, like, anything. Because I always saw action sports as something bigger. Now I saw it for scootering. And so I definitely just pursued it like that.
Yeah, no, I feel that. So you grew up in Vegas, and now you live in Vacaville. But Grant, you currently live in Vegas, and have you lived in Vegas your whole life?
Yeah, so I was actually born in Las Vegas. Half of my family lived in Arizona at the time, but like my mom's side all lived in Vegas, so I've been there my whole life. I lived there since 17 and then finally moved out, but now it's just back and forth all the time.
Yeah.
Which I like that a little bit better.
Did you guys know each other in Vegas?
That's
No.
the funniest.
No.
That's the funniest part about our relationship is that
Your
we
duo.
never knew each other in Vegas.
Yeah, I met him like probably 2 to 3 years after I moved out of Vegas.
Yeah. Another funny thing is like all my scooter friends met at Woodward.
Yeah.
Never in Vegas.
Yep.
Always met everybody at Woodward. Never like.
I've literally built the biggest friendships from Woodward, like with him, Dawson, like Dom, dude, like literally all these scooter riders I
Bunch of
met at
people.
Woodward, and I still know them to this day.
Isn't it crazy how much of a resource Woodward has been for like the American scooter scene?
Yeah,
Just
dude.
with the
They're
friendship.
clutch.
I feel like I know so many people as well from Woodward. Some of my best connections I have in my life have been all starting because of some mischief that happened in the camp. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's always
That's
it's so
facts.
funny how deep certain one of my roots, like certain roots that I have, go into Woodward. It's like, why Woodward? You know, it's it's so funny. So, what was it like? Like, you guys both been to like Woodward during the. What does Woodward like mean to you guys? Like, what is it like when you go? Because you guys both work there too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought a little bit.
Yeah.
You guys both work there at Tahoe. What is it like working there? What is it like now being that like over?
From like a camper to an instructor.
Yeah. What is that transition like?
So it's actually pretty crazy because going to Woodward as a kid, you know, me personally, my first time at Woodward couldn't do shit on a scooter. Like I'm talking about couldn't like barely drop in, couldn't do nothing. So it's crazy going from that point, always going to West, and then just finally just working there. It's honestly pretty awesome. Our experience at Tahoe is honestly legendary.
Yeah, I was a little kid on skateboards watching the Woodward show, always wanting to go to Woodward.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I got on a scooter, and when I moved to Vacaville, like, they had a February camp for the scooters, and all my friends from Vacaville were going, and I was like, Woodward, like, bet, I gotta go. And I got to go for the first time on my scooter after literally dreaming of it since I was a kid.
I think that's where I met you. Because I think
Probably.
you went with Kyle Moses, or like your
Yep.
dad had like driven Kyle Moses when
Yep.
you down.
We had a whole little group of them.
Yeah, I remember the Vacaville scene was so strong. Is it still?
No, not at all.
No?
I'm like the only rider other than like a couple other locals. Like there are a couple younger ones that have stuck with it. But other than that, it's definitely died down from what it was when I moved there.
Absolutely. No, I feel that. I feel like half of the reason because of that though is the quality of the skate park. Like, no offense, the skate park is so bad.
Like the biggest ramp there is literally a 4-foot quarter. So
Yeah.
Didn't you learn how to double flip out of that?
I didn't learn how to, but I made it a goal to double flip out of there, and I did that shit.
That's
Yeah,
so stupid,
That shit
dude.
was crazy.
Because doesn't the ramp literally have a lump in it?
For some people, I guess, but I'm so used to it that I got a sweet spot that I go to, like right where the coping just has like a little lip. Like I think everybody's got that little spot at their local that they know.
Yeah, for sure. There's some sort of imperfection in the quarter pipe that's like your mental marker of where your wheel needs to go.
I got
Yeah,
my
for
air
real.
spot and I got my little fly out spot. So
Yep.
I got a box.
So, tell me about the Las Vegas scene. What was it like growing up with all of them?
So, like he said, growing up, actually started off skateboarding at first. So
Me as well.
my local park was Desert Breeze Skate Park, and
That park also sucks. You guys both come
Yeah.
from.
My local
Yeah.
when I lived in Vegas was like Centennial, if you know what that is.
No.
Yeah, no. They just got rebuilt. It's pretty sick, actually.
I think you're familiar with Desert Breeze, right?
Yeah, Cam Boys
Yeah,
local.
Cam, Bobby
All the
Rivas.
Yeah, there's so many legendary people that came out of
There's some
Vegas.
there's legendary like BMXers, skateboarders, the hella legends come from Breeze. It's crazy. But yeah, so getting into scootering, going there skateboarding, I see Bobby Rivas do a fucking bri flip one
Yeah.
day just riding my skateboard. And I was like, holy shit, I've never seen that in my life. So eventually Christmas came around, got a scooter, learned how to drop in. Then from there, it was just found some friends, trouble kid in school. So, going to the skate park was the best thing ever. Just getting out
Yeah.
of school, going to the park right after school, and just having fun.
That's so sick. Would you say that most of your friends in school were scooter riders, or like
No,
most of your friends
actually-
in that period of your life were scooter riders? Like
Oh,
you're
yeah,
you're
no, for
close
sure.
friends with the boys at the skate park.
Yeah, before definitely like in middle school and like getting out of elementary school, because I think I started scootering when I was around probably getting into tricks probably around 10 years old.
Okay.
So getting out of elementary, going into middle school, all of my friends were scooter riders, but I never went to school with any of them. Was the other part.
Yeah.
So that
Was there like a particular school that where most of them went to, and then there's
No, everyone was actually spread out, which was weird. Everyone was always in different parts of the city.
Yeah.
Like the old gang back then was like me, Bam Apodaca, which he all the way in Henderson, and then Rylan Garganza, he was all the way in like Enterprise.
Yeah, Vegas is so big, so as a kid, it's kind of hard to hang out.
Yeah,
with all your friends
we
like
all
that.
had to.
And there's
just
no
mob the
public
bus.
transportation.
No, there's public buses.
There's buses,
Yeah,
but-
but we would mob those buses everywhere, take it over. We would mob the streets.
That's so funny.
Like,
I remember riding with Ricky. You know Ricky?
Yeah.
I remember riding with him like before. It was before Undialed, and it was still when I was living with my parents. I would go out to Vegas sometimes, and I would hang out with him, and I remember just riding around, just so far between like
Yeah.
everywhere.
yeah, it's definitely a different experience and vibe living in Vegas compared to say here or California. Because at this point in my life, I've experienced a little bit of everything. So Vegas is a completely different environment. It's wild.
Do you like that environment in Vegas though? I always see you out here, so I'm like,
Yeah,
eh.
no.
I'm
No,
glad I don't live there no more. I'll say
Yeah,
that.
I'm glad I'm not forced to be there full time.
Why not?
what I
From
mean?
your POV, and then Hunter, I want to hear from your point of view.
So my point of view is pretty much it's just not a good place for me personally, just because of the people I grew up with aren't really good influences, you could say. Just like there's a lot of just bad stuff that not good for me, not good for my career.
Yeah.
So I like to stay away.
Literally, same thing was Grant was saying, like, it's just bad there. I saw the shit that I got into in Vacaville just fucking around and just being mean, but I know it could have escalated a lot worse if I lived in a bigger town around more people. I just lived in a little cow town, couldn't really get into shit, but I got him that lives in Vegas that tells me all these crazy stories, and I go down there to visit and see some crazy shit, so it's definitely something I don't want to live at.
I feel like Las Vegas has this very strange dynamic where there's this insane contrast between real and fake, but also rich and
Yeah.
poor, and it's so interesting because I feel like every time I go to the Strip, I almost like it less. Like I remember my first time going as like a little kid, I was like, "This is Disney," you know what I mean? And
All the
then
lights
and then every time I go, I'm just like, man, like this is just like I see the cracks in the walls just like appearing more and more. I'm just
Nah,
like,
for sure, I feel that.
and it makes me think like that can't be good for like the local like youth being around like
No,
seeing these
definitely
highs of like what is the Vegas dream? Being strung out on cocaine, winning at a table, like,
yeah,
and that's what
literally.
I feel like that's what they advertise. I feel like you get bombarded with that as like a
Yeah.
kid. You know, it's like this is what success looks like. What do successful people look like? they're fucked up on the strip. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
And-
that's what I always get asked growing up too. Is they're like, oh, you must always be on the strip having hella fun and shit. It's like, no, you ask any Vegas local, we hardly ever go to the strip unless the whole gang's in town. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's like, yeah, the strip's definitely a crazy. I think of it as a like nasty place, honestly.
Do you think the Las Vegas Strip has peaked? Like, do you think it's on a downfall right now?
I do. Yeah, I think Vegas is going downhill for the most part.
I think the first thing that made me ever think that thought is I was on this road trip with Clayton through Reno, and
Reno's just a more fucked up version of Vegas.
Well-
It's like rip off.
yeah, I was like, it really is. We were driving through and we were in a hotel, like a nice hotel, right? And I remember we go down to like the street to like walk to a gas station or a convenience store. And I was like, this is the most like unsecure I've ever felt in my life. I'm in America. I felt so in danger, like walking around Reno at night, right? Like more than anywhere I've ever felt in the United States. And I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, like what happened to Reno? You know, like was this actually a popping place at one point? And I was thinking about it. I was like, damn, it must have been like in the 70s and 80s or like right when they finished building it that like they had this like they're basically like riding the hype of like this will be something, right? So they had this like little like burst of and I'm worried that Vegas is like also kind of the same thing. Like I know Vegas is like way bigger and there's more behind Vegas, but I'm curious like is technology in a way like ruining Las Vegas? Because I feel like a big selling point for Vegas for a long time was like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And now with like Snapchat, Instagram, and like how good it is now, it's like that's not really the case.
No, like I definitely I pay attention to that thing a lot more now that I'm like growing up, you know, out in the real world. I get to see everything. And it's like even looking back, because I still have Snapchat and all that stuff, usually like, or back then Snapchat was just something you talk to your high school friends with, and it's like, that's just a good way to communicate. Now that I'm like, I got the gang, like, you know, I keep my circle small. It's like just seeing all these other people that are just living the regular, you know, regular human life, going to school, going to work every day. It's like,
Partying to stay happy.
yeah, all of them, literally Vegas.
do you
Everybody
do with
our
your spare
age, all
time?
they do is party. That's their goal at the end of the night is just to get fucked up. That's the whole. That's what they live for. Is just fucking booyah, party. Like swear.
And do you think that's because of like when they were growing up?
No,
it's
yeah,
just
for sure. Because us growing up, it was like, because where I lived, it wasn't really ghetto like that.
Yeah.
It was a little active, I will say, but it wasn't bad either. Like it was a little bit of rich and poor and mixed a lot. So, like not too far up was Summerlin, and Summerlin had mainly the wealthy people in it, all the wealthy kids, better schools, like most of that stuff. So everyone growing up there is just all party buses for birthdays, you know, fucking go to the strip, get lit, like
Yeah.
it was just all drinking, smoking, just everything.
Yeah.
There's no censorship growing up in Vegas. You know what I mean?
There's really not.
No, you get the picture at a very young age.
The other thing that blows me mind about Vegas is I was talking to Juju about this. Like Vegas is actually very hood, and
Yeah.
I was like, that seems kind of strange. Like I don't know. I feel like in a lot of other places in the United States, there's a lot more like history behind the town. Like I know Vegas
Yeah.
is like relatively new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
I mean, it was built by the mafia, so
yeah, and it's just is crazy to me because it's like, damn, they have so much luxury, but yet
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
10 minutes away, there's like
so much violence.
I think social media influences a lot of violence out there.
Yeah?
It
no,
definitely
for sure.
does in Vacaville. Like I could see everybody trying to act hard on social media for no reason. And when I meet them in person, they're like some scared bitches. So like when you have that many people in a big ass town, everybody's just trying to be top dog. Like you can't. Not everybody can be top dog. Like
Yeah.
everybody's just gonna keep getting into it with each other.
That's a funny philosophy. Like being top dog. Like why can't we all just like be here? You know?
Yeah, exactly. Just enjoy the moment. Good vibes. You
Yeah.
don't have to be hard. You don't have to like like in Vegas, I have so many friends that just like, oh, want to be old big gangbanger, you know, that guy that just wants people to portray or look at him and see him as like, oh, I'm scared or something. It's just so many people in Vegas fall victim to that type of, they want that look so bad.
And you could tell through social media more because people don't portray it in person because they're more scared to. But when they get behind a phone, it's like, they'll just post all this shit. Like, the gang members, but they're like really some scared kid behind a phone.
I think that's not even just Vegas thing. I think that's
everywhere. That's why
everywhere.
I said I see it in Vacaville, so I guess it's just a bigger extent in Vegas. Like, just...
Well, what blows my mind too is certain scooter kids, right? I'll see certain scooter kids and I'm like, I look at their Instagram. I'm like, damn, like you look like you're 10 and you're like posting these suicidal, crazy, like insane, like,
no, that's bad.
like you listen to some crazy music right now. And then I like see a picture of you and you're a child. And then when you come up to me and ask me my autograph to sign your scooter, you look even younger. Like, and it's just crazy to me. It's like living in this world now. We have this metaverse presence we have to keep up,
oh my gosh.
which is kind of just Instagram now, right? This presence,
Yeah.
and then we have like our real presence. You know what I mean? And it's just so funny how different they can be for a lot of people.
Yeah, I honestly think, like how you asked me, do I think technology's a cause for Vegas's downfall? I think it's causing like a downfall for the whole world. At some point, I think it's just too much technology.
Easily,
just isn't
dude.
good.
It gets through my head all the time with Instagram and having to keep up with posting for scootering and just
Yeah.
building content because people want to see it, and when they don't see it, they're just like, where are you at? It kind of just like puts you on edge.
What blows my mind is like, where does it stop, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it's like we're gonna create this metaverse, right? We're gonna create this fucking real life thing we walk around in and we interact with digital dogs, I'm assuming. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's this,
customize your character.
but
be
then like
whoever you want.
these people, they're gonna turn into aliens. They're gonna turn
Yeah.
gray. They're gonna see skinny up. They're gonna turn into these big
weird,
eyes,
dude.
like small teeth. You know,
It's like vampires.
yeah, and
Yeah.
they're just gonna be stuck in their rooms, and then they're gonna be playing their game, right? But they don't want anything to happen to their game, so they're gonna have another virtual reality inside of their virtual reality where they do all of their like edgy things because they can't risk like their virtual reality, and it's like
That's interesting to think about.
and it's like that makes me think about like now it's like, do I need to have this virtual world where I try all of my risks? You know, you only got so much time. You know, it's like why are we creating this like soft world, right? This world
Yeah.
where it's like there's no consequences. Like, yeah, I guess you get to like travel to wherever you want and you get to see people and talk and blah, 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 like cool. But why don't you just do that in your real life?
Yeah, no, that's true. I don't know how it's gonna play out. I don't know if it's gonna work exactly how they are portraying it to work. I think it's mainly just an excuse for something else involved with that. But I don't know. I think it's a little fishy that they're trying to do like even like the NFT thing. It came out like so quick. Like this NFT shit's blowing up, and it's like I feel it, but like it's a little confusing at the same time. So I don't know.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing with crypto. Everybody's so on
Yeah.
edge about that and throwing all their money into like a digital wallet.
Yeah, now everyone's like metaverse. People are buying properties in the metaverse and land and shit. It's like wow, shit's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder what the future's gonna be
Yeah.
like.
What I'm
So
what I'm
questionable.
deep down kind of scared of, and I've never actually voiced this ever in my life, but I'm scared that we will not ever be able to make scootering as big as we imagine it because technology will just cock block it.
I
Like-
feel
See that?
Like
Fortnite did.
I just think that in 20 years from now, like right, or even less than that, 10 years from now, how old are you?
18.
18.
19.
19, 28, 29, right? I'll be 35. Yikes. And it's like by that point, I'll probably have kids. And if my kids can log in with their friends and they can just go do whatever in this metaverse, like how could I
scooter in the metaverse?
how could I convince him to be like, all right, I want you to go outside and scooter right now? And he'll be like,
Nobody else is doing that.
no, it's not even that. so you want me, he'll be like, Dad, so you want me to go outside and potentially hurt myself? Is that what you want me to? You want me to potentially hurt myself? Then they're gonna call like Child Protective Services, right?
Oh,
my dad is potentially hurting me, right?
Yeah, I would not.
Oh, dude, society.
That would suck.
And it's like I think that these kids are going to like they're gonna become such pussies, right? Because everything will just be when you have the goggles on, right? Everything comes to you. So it's like they're just used to everything coming.
Yeah.
And I feel like what has defined humanity is how we have gone to the thing, but now it's like we're transforming everything coming to us, and it's like I think a critical part of like being a human is like reaching out that extra little bit to grab what you want, and like going through those trials as like mentally, physically, and I feel like once the metaverse like hits and it's going,
everyone's gonna be some cocky assholes.
Yeah, bro. And not only that, it's like if you're just living, like your kids are just living in the metaverse, like they're not gonna have no type of skills. Like everything, like you could have whatever you absolutely want in the metaverse. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be like they're getting everything handed to them pretty much. They're not gonna have no skills, like it's just gonna be a fucked up human being. And it's like, and you could already see it in modern day from like past, like our generations, like the world. United States has already raised some punk pussies, you know what I mean? Like, if you look at China and like Russia, bro, their army, like they just look like crazier than ours. I don't know why, but like even their people, like they just have to go through it so much rougher than us. I feel like they're built different because of that. I feel like they have stricter lifestyles compared to us. I feel like with so much freedom that they give us, it makes us weaker in a way.
Both of you guys have left the country, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What I think is so amazing, and you guys have like that perspective, like of like not being in America. What I think is so interesting is the people that hate America the most are people who have never left America that live inside.
That blows my mind, dude.
And it's like, yeah, and this is the comparison that I make, like USA or fuck USA, like your hometown. Right? Everyone hates their hometown. I've been all over the world. I've talked to so many different people with so many different upbringings, with so many different like directions in their life. It is universally agreed that your hometown sucks. Regardless, like you can move from your hometown to somebody else's hometown and you could think that's the greatest place, but that person that's still in their hometown is going to think it sucks.
Yeah. Same with your language. Like I want to speak Australian, but Australians want to speak like Americans.
Yeah. And it's funny because I feel like that's how people talk about America. It's like if you were still in your hometown, you'd be like, my town shit. It's not till you leave and come back and reminisce about like all the things that like, damn, you know what, this town is actually
grateful
exactly.
for.
Yeah. And it's like I don't think people realize how long the list of things we're grateful for. I don't think they realize
they really don't.
How easy they are, how common they are, and how unique it is that we have these privileges.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I feel like the people that hate America the most, they take the most advantage of those privileges. And
yeah, it's crazy for sure.
and it's like I don't know. I'll say it. I think that United States for sure, hands down, is the best country in the earth because we like there's a few other places that are like technically more diverse, but we have like the most amount of culture here, right? We have so much much diversity, and like you can draw the contrast from like Norway or Sweden, like
Well, because this is where freedom is supposed to be.
Yeah, you could say Norway and Sweden, those are better countries because they have universal health care, they have less crime, they have this, but they're not diverse. They're 99% white, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, let's put diversity in the mix and also freedom. The most free, diverse, like, wealthy place in the entire world is the United States of America. Yeah. And I don't know, I just want people to appreciate it.
Nah, I definitely feel the same way. Because it's crazy, like, we were just in Mexico, like, what, a month and a half ago?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And, like, I have property out there, and it's like, we literally go out there, our neighbors literally don't even have a roof. Like, they don't have windows, they don't got a ceiling, like.
It was insane.
It is gnarly. There's no paved roads, like.
There's
Like
animals that run around the streets and chase you and shit.
Yeah, like wild dogs, bro. It's wild. And
I'm
it's
sitting
like,
there eating dinner and I'm looking down and I have a little dog next to me, like begging me for food at my dinner table, like on the street. Like, dude, it was wild. It was such a cultural shock. Yeah, it made me so grateful to go home and be able to eat at my dinner.
Like,
dinner
damn,
with
it's
my
wild.
pet dogs that bug me.
Like, damn, there's no car size like holes in the freeway.
yeah. And there's not really even a lot of cars. Everyone's either on a bike, like a jigged up, ghetto rigged motorcycle. or
Old
like,
motorcycles, dude, that I
Yeah.
don't even see in America anymore. Like, they
Yeah,
all
like
got them out
it's-
there in Mexico.
Yeah.
Like all these people I see per se, like just complaining and like they're like, oh, like this life sucks, whoop de woo. Like I'm like, bro, you guys gotta leave the United States. Like if you saw what it was like out in other places, like you wouldn't be saying that type of shit. It's like you gotta really appreciate what you have in this world, especially growing up like us.
The one thing that I think America has is oversaturation, right? The people here get so oversaturated, and then they can. And the other thing too that I think is so important for development, and something that I've actually been trying to go out of my way and do recently, which is like a silly thought, is boredom, and like being bored is just an emotion, right? And I feel like being bored has led to the greatest accomplishments in human history, right? It's somebody's in a situation, they're bored, they're like, damn, I want to make this situation better. And it forces them to like connect these neurons they wouldn't normally connect, and go and accomplish or take on or create something that wouldn't otherwise come to be. It's like the boredom, yes, it sucks, but that pressure from the boredom then creates like this great thing. And I feel like in America, we're treating boredom like a plague. You know, it's like we can't be bored. Boredom is bad, and we have these rectangles that we can talk to anybody in the world at any moment, right? We have thousands and thousands of people who work in these buildings that control these apps that literally have meetings about how do we keep this person on the phone 30 seconds longer.
Yeah.
And it's like it's so hard to be bored these days, right? And what that does is it puts your base energy level, I swear, like down a little bit, because it's like you're so oversaturated that you could have some crazy things happen, but like they won't register because you've already seen so much crazy shit. Like it's incredible to me.
Nah, that's for real.
And that's one thing that I love about scootering, to be honest with you, is it keeps me humble, because it's like the risk of falling doesn't like that. It's always the same. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that I feel like is really cool, is that edge to scootering, because like if you're bored in scootering, you're going to have to go to that scary place.
Yeah. And it's...
I love getting out of my comfort zone, dude.
Yeah.
As soon as I get bored, I'm like, all right, what am I scared of? Let's do it. Let's learn this.
This fool's so insane.
Both of you guys are insane. Come on.
I'm only insane because of this guy right here. Let me just put that clear. Like literally, like my final year of like living in Vegas was like the worst year of my life. Like literally was like rock bottom, like just fucking everything up, bad relationships with my parents, like, and then like we had like a 3-hour phone call one night. And it was literally just changed everything.
Like literally, I can remember from this phone call that me and him had, we're just talking it out for hours. After that, we've been enjoying life, I think, so much more. Like, so much more.
Yeah, like literally, because, man, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
I was out there just, being a dumb teenager, trapping, fucking just doing a whole bunch of crazy shit. And, like, it wasn't a good environment to be in, especially trying to be a professional scooter rider at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's like I noticed everything I was doing wrong, and like after our conversation, I just dropped everything and was done with that. I moved to here, Arizona, got a job in construction.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
I remember Mean Bean came over, and I like was talking to him or something, and he's like, "Yo, there's this kid from Vegas that just moved here," and I was like, "Yeah, like, did his family move here?" And he's like, "Nah, like he ran away from his family. Like, he's living in a house now with like 10 Mexican dudes, and he's working construction." And I'm like,
That's so funny shit.
I was like, "Who is this?" And he's like, "He goes by Glizzy."
No fucking way, dude.
And I was like, "Oh man, okay." So then I like meet you, and I'm like, "Oh, he's sick." But
That's hilarious.
but yeah, can you please
Yeah, so
translate what I said?
yeah, the whole nickname Glizzy, I still don't really know or remember exactly where that came from or how it came to be.
It's a good nickname for you.
I like it, honestly.
He says it everywhere, dude, when he orders his food and all that.
I like to use the name.
Like I know a few other Grants, and they're not Glizzies. They're for sure Grant. But like you, you could be Glizzy. But go on. I want to hear.
But yeah, so I was like 17 and a half. Like I said, life wasn't going very good at the stage I was in. I wasn't really scootering too much at this point either, because just at this point, everyone in Vegas really wasn't riding. I had went through like a passing of a friend and was just really down, like feeling just not good. And so my dad actually gave me a great offer to go work with him in Phoenix and do a construction job for this highway, just like creating concrete and stuff. And so I did that for about 5.5, 6 months. And like just right at about the peak. Because the whole time I'd go to work, I'd wake up at like 4 a.m., get to work at 5, get off at like 4 p.m., and I'd go straight to Easy Grind every day and just practice. And I think that was just... I was just hyped to live out here, I think, because I always wanted
But
to
that's
go.
not sustainable.
Yeah.
Like you can't work all day outside.
Well, I did it.
I know you did it, but you
for
couldn't do that
solid-
for years.
No. I knew that too. That was like my main thing. I always knew construction wasn't gonna be forever. I just I took it and just used it to get out here and per se meet you guys.
Yeah.
Build connections, build new friendships. Really, because this is a way better scooter environment compared to Vegas. We have AZ Grind, KTR, Premises. We have a bunch of indoor parks and just a bunch of outdoor parks. Great community. You guys run shit up out here. I love you guys for that.
Yeah, of course, dude.
That's awesome. And yeah, it's just, I had to come out here and just see what it was like. And it worked out very well. I'm very thankful for how everything played.
So let me ask you
Played out.
Let me ask you something real quick. A lot of people. I said at the beginning of this podcast, I was like, I want to talk to. I want this to be kind of for people your age, right? And what advice right now, if you have any, would you give to a 16, 17, 18-year-old kid that's like on the edge of like moving out? Maybe he has a not so good relationship with his parents, like, and he needs that confidence to like take that next step. Because you guys both know that step is like, geez, you know, that's like,
Yeah, it's a hard step to take for sure.
What would you say anything to him?
All I could say is honestly, like, if you're going through a rough time, like you need to really find yourself. You need to take what you love and like really just pursue what you love. Forget about what other people think about you, because it doesn't, like, in the end, it doesn't come down to that.
Because the high school friends matter right now, but they won't in 6 months.
Yeah, no, the high school guys, I'm telling you, the high school friends will not last you. Like 6 months after senior year, they'll be out the window. So once you get a real job,
They're gone.
yeah. Once you're out of high school, real
Everybody
job,
just has their own
life
motives.
changes, yeah. And friend circles definitely aren't the same. That's for sure. So they
And also, you don't want your high school friend group to like be your friend group that lasts your whole life.
no.
Because
You definitely need to find
the only reason you
people.
know those people is you geographically live close to them. It's not like
Yeah.
you had some sort of interest that you all both had. You know what I mean? It's like y'all just live near each other. Like, get a new friend group.
just
You must be a pretty boring person.
yeah, and I honestly just gotta say, like, you just gotta find what you love, pursue what you love, figure out the real people from the fake people and keep a small circle. Is
Because you don't like squares.
Yeah, don't like squares. And don't smoke nicotine. That's some advice I'd give a young person.
Yeah.
Definitely don't smoke nicotine.
That shit's a bitch.
It is fucking sucks.
I think if you're really struggling with just making the move, just being lost or whatever, is to just set little individual goals for yourself. Things that aren't too out of reach, but things that you can slowly build up to getting to where you want to be. That's out of reach. So have a goal of having a mansion, but set little goals in between to getting that mansion. So to just keep yourself occupied. Like every day I just wake up and think, what can I do to make money? Or what can I do to pursue scootering that I like? Mainly money though, dude, because money's a big thing. Like I'm broke as shit, struggling. Like
Yeah, struggle is a huge part of this game.
Hey, can I tell you something? Clayton and I have struggled for the last 6 years.
I know you guys are such inspiration.
You guys are
we've literally been the struggle. Like people, sometimes people like think that Clayton and I got a shit ton of money, or like we're getting a whole bunch of money from our parents or something. Like, nah,
Dude.
Yeah, it's not like that.
we're really.
I look at you guys like me and him almost,
Yeah.
like me and Nate, dude. Like all of us are just fucking grinding, trying to be where we want to be.
Yeah.
And we didn't just get put in that position to be there. We all had to work for that shit.
And that's really what it is, right? You said it just a second ago. It's like, for me, I don't know. Like I have my big goals, right? And to be honest with you, I don't exactly know how I'm gonna get there, right? We still got a lot to figure out,
No fucking clue.
right? No clue.
No clue.
Yeah.
But it's like I know the next step to get right. I know the immediate next step. It's like, what is the immediate next step? It's like do this podcast, right? And then it's like I gotta go eat some food, and then I gotta go to bed. I gotta like wake up at a good time. I gotta go do the tasks of the next day, and it's you just gotta be able to handle things one step at a time. Because if you just like, for example, it's like I want to be like an amazing artist someday. Like that's my like a goal for me, and it's like I can't just expect to like paint one painting that's gonna like shoot me into the highlight. It's
Not
like
gonna be good right away. It's for anything, yeah.
it's like I'm gonna make some pretty bad paintings for a while,
Yeah.
and then at some point they're gonna be not so bad, and then at some point they're just gonna be like
Decent.
you know, and then
Yeah.
I'll get to the point where it would be really hard for me to paint a bad painting because I have so much muscle memory built up, and I don't know. It's just interesting. The last thing I'm gonna say is like people overestimate what they can do in a year, but they underestimate what they can do in 10 years. And I feel like that's like another thing that burns people out is like, all right, like 2021, it's my year. I'm gonna get my bread up, and then by the end of the year, like I'm gonna be on my shit. You know, it's like, how about like at the end of 5 years or 10 years that you're gonna be in your shit? It's because like I don't mind that
It
I've
takes time.
I think looking that far into the future is scary.
I think
Yeah.
so too.
I don't like to. I like to just live in the moment and say fuck it. And
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
literally me. Like
things aren't promised.
mostly
You're not
him
gonna be
too.
happy if you just sit there and like try to
Dwell
achieve
on
this
shit.
goal and this goal doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yeah.
obviously go through troubles trying to get there, and maybe it might not even happen. So just be happy with what you have.
You just have to have like a certain level of finesse too. Like you have
Yeah.
to be able to,
Yeah.
to be able to receive the things that life gives you and work it. And it
Yeah,
might
play
not
your
even be
cards right.
perfect.
Yeah, you definitely have to play your cards right in this world, no matter what they are. They could be the shittiest cards, and you could figure it out.
You always can.
Have
Yeah.
goals, but whatever happens, happens.
So speaking of goals, what are some of your goals for you guys?
I've actually literally just recently accomplished the biggest goal I've ever set for myself in scootering.
What's
which
that?
is going to Barcelona.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
Dude, I don't understand. Like, since I was a little kid, I've always said, like, since I started scootering, it's always been a dream to go to Barcelona after watching all these videos.
It was so cool to watch you.
And then I know I saw.
I
the
was literally
commentation.
sitting right here announcing it. And I was like, Hunter Frost from Vacaville. I think I said Vacaville like
Yeah,
10
yeah.
times.
I was so hyped watching it too. Just saying.
Yeah, but that was definitely like one of the biggest goals I've accomplished in scootering. And now that I've accomplished that goal, I was like, well, I almost like don't know what to do with myself. But then now there's like other things like I want to fucking triple flip now. I want to triple flare. I want to be the world's best scooter rider. Like, now I have those things to look forward to and try to accomplish and see what I can surpass after that. Like, it always is just going to build on from one goal to the next goal, to the next, till it's never ending.
Will you be the person who lands a triple flip first?
Yes.
I would love to say that, but I wish we had the facilities to do it like other people have.
Where would you want to do it?
I don't think I've ridden an actual nice resi quarter that's like doable other than Woodward West when they build it onto the extension, which that's
Still
been
a big
broken the
maybe.
last couple of months. Like the weekend I went there to actually wanted to do it and actually try it, like it got broken, so I didn't even get to try it at all, and I just got to like look at this broken resi and just think about it, like. And now I see all
Damn.
these posts of all these other people like posting about doing a triple flare, and I'm just like, fuck.
Who else is hunting for it right now?
I know Leo is. I saw one of like another person from like Leo's local area, I think on Instagram, tried to resi and get to like his butt. Then Jordan Clark. I don't really know of any other riders too much.
There's not too many people.
Yeah, no, there's Jordan, Jamie, Leo, and you. And
I definitely saw somebody from the UK trying it one
I think
time.
that's what I was talking about whatever
Leo's
friend.
friends.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
triple flip would be gnarly.
What did you think about that triple flip Jamie just did?
Stupid.
Dude, what
Gnarly.
the actual fuck? Like, dude, that takes
Feel-
some fat nuts right there to actually get that
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
That
Like
was
having the nerve
crazy.
to just take it from a mega ramp to just send it on like an actual big wood box, dude. You could get so fucked up. Like, Jamie's an actual legend for that, dude.
Yeah. First
So-
ever triple flip to wood, yeah.
Yeah, first one.
In a skate park?
Yeah,
Just
first.
get-
Yeah.
Because every other time it's been on that gigantic ramp.
Yeah.
Having just the mental to get yourself to do that shit's you're a fucking beast. I love that shit.
Yo, also, I think it's the first triple flip on a wheeled sport to wood.
Really?
What about? Would
Bikers
you?
haven't even done it over boxes.
No.
I couldn't see
No,
it
they've all done
happening
it to
on
resi.
bikes.
It's all been done to resi.
Motorcycle ended to wood.
It was still on resi.
Thought he did it to wood.
Did he?
I feel like that impact would be so much, dude, on a motorcycle.
Oh yeah, because they had the
perfect.
flap. They had like the airbag, and then they deflated the airbag. I think
Yeah.
that's what it was. Yeah. So I guess like on an unmotorized wheeled sport, Jamie Hull was the first person to do a triple backflip to wood.
And that's gonna
Not
be,
on a mega ramp.
It's never been done on Mega.
That's the beginning
done
of
to resi.
history.
Yeah, that's where everything
Kids are gonna
starts right
talk
there.
about that forever. Remember when Jamie Hall triple flipped to wood? Like he's literally put his name in the scootering
Yeah, he
industry
just
forever.
carved his name in the wall for sure.
That's what I want to do for myself.
Yeah.
I always want to be known in this industry or anything, dude.
I think you were the first person to double backflip out of Vacaville's
Yeah.
quarter
I think
pipe. Does that count?
I think I actually have the smallest double flip right now.
The smallest double
I
flip?
did out of the 3.5 foot quarter at A-Town,
Oh yeah, you did.
like hella long ago, and then
I watched that.
another kid actually even tried to do that and like landed like on,
On
his
the-
side
on
on
the
the ledge and totally got fucked up.
Yeah, bodied.
Damn. Yeah, I think that might be. Who else would have?
Vincent Schneider, that was his name.
Yeah.
Who else
he's
would have done a
G, though.
smaller one?
I don't know. I was tweaking back then.
Yeah, I think
My
that is the
mentality
smallest
was
one.
on one. I was just like, oh, double flips are cool. I got them to resi. I was like, why can't I do this shit to wood? I'm gonna do it.
I saw you post on your Instagram. You said this trick is still scary.
It never will not be, dude. Just building up to get yourself to do 2 rotations and put yourself under like. You can get hurt at any moment, so obviously
Yeah.
it is scary. I don't want my hands to slip because I got sweaty palms. Like I'll bust my ass. So it's just like a hold and pray. hope I can
Have
see
you gotten
where I
messed up
slide
on
down.
one? Have you gotten like hurt?
You know how I used to do them all the time. I used to do them at the A-Town. I literally have tried them when I went to Vegas one time as a kid. I tried at every skate park I went to. Like I went to like 4 skate parks and tried them at every park. I did up the Craig Ranch step up. I tried it at the Anthem
I saw that.
hip. I tried to double flip the Anthem hip and over rotated.
The anthem hit.
It's a small one. It was just like.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
slow
yeah.
shit. But I still tried that and ate shit. There's just so many like. Me having the balls to actually throw it and not give a fuck back then is because I didn't eat shit like that before. Now I've eaten shit on double flips so much, it's like, fuck, dude, this could happen again. And so it's kind of just that, ugh, here we go again. Let's hope.
Yep.
That's why it's always scary. I've just gone through the fails for double flips, so now it's kind of just like, hope it doesn't happen again.
Dude, I'm so
I've-
scared of double flips, dude. I had them pretty good to the Woodward Bohm, and like I just remember like, nah, I'm not doing this to Resi. Like, I'm gonna break myself off if I do this.
I know my mentality lately is just fuck it, because we only live once, and if I want to get the
Yeah.
shit done, I need
Yeah.
to get done. I
Yeah,
can't
our
waste time
time-
to get that shit done. I
Our
gotta
time
just do
is
it.
not here for very long. That's
so
for
limited,
sure.
and I'm only getting older, dude. Like, I'm 19 now. I remember when I was like 17, 16, and I felt like I was good on a scooter, and I honestly felt like I have progressed, but I haven't progressed as much as I've wanted to, and I could see myself at a bigger rate than I am, and that's one thing that's kind of just been, but I don't know.
What about you, Grant? What's some of your goals?
Well, this is my first year qualifying for World Finals, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to go just because of maybe vaccine reasons.
I said
But-
fuck it and got the vaccination because I'll die for this shit. Like,
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
the same way for Barcelona. I had to get vaccinated to go to that trip. I really didn't want to. He was there with me, and I was like, well, I'm basically signing my death waiver right now. Fuck it, dude. Whatever happens, happens. My dad's got it. I know so many people that got it. Like, if they're affected in any way that something were to happen to them, I'm affected in the same way, so I might as well be with them.
Yeah.
So I went and got that shit, so now I'm just enjoying it. Dude, I don't give a fuck about this COVID stuff. I got the
Yeah,
shot. What
just-
else you want me to fucking do? I'm doing what I can.
I'm a little bit more restricted to things, but it's all right. I'm willing to wait.
Yeah.
He
I'm a very
believes the
patient
John
person.
F. Kennedy assassination was fake.
Hmm.
I'm joking. It's just
Oh.
the type of stuff he would believe.
Besides from going to Worlds, what other goals do you have within scootering? It can be on any level.
I'm really proud of how our whole friend group is doing right now, just in general.
Who is your friend group? Shout them out right now.
Nate Pena, Logan Schneider, Dawson Schneider, Hunter Frost, me, Landon's killing it with the filming, Fredo's killing it. Like, I pretty much just want the gang just to have our own crib together, mainly for a content house.
Where at?
Here.
In Arizona?
Yeah, mainly.
the place.
I think in Queen Creek, I would want it to be just because.
So is Logan Schneider planning to move out here?
That's kind of all our big plans, but like I know it's gonna be a hassle when we all move into each other of getting along and shit like that. So
Yeah, we do have some.
Damn, so it'd be like 7 boys in a house.
like basically fusion gang.
It wouldn't be that many. We would only have like
Dude,
4 or 5.
Okay.
That's still a lot. Have you seen the Temecula guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
You want to do that?
They're some thugs. I love that shit. That's exactly how I want to be.
Bro, if you guys got a house in Queen Creek, that'd be sick.
I think the
be
faster we get in a
legendary.
house together, the faster we'll start fucking shit up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like right now, it's hard with all of us living so far away and then having to meet up every now and then. Just
Yeah,
to
and
get some
we
things done.
still make it work.
And when
somehow.
we get together, we all fuck shit up, dude, and I love it. So imagine us living in a house, dude. The energy is just gonna be great.
Yeah, and most of our plans right now, like every time a whole gang goes on a trip, like bro, it is not planned out. Never. we literally pull up, we fly in like.
I've been called at 12 o'clock at night by Nate to go, hey, Hunter, you want to go to Woodward tomorrow? And I'm like, well, if my friend answers the phone and wants to come with me, I'll drive to your house right now. Fucking 12 o'clock at night. Nate lives like 6-7 hours from me.
Yep.
And I hit my friend up, and I'm like, you want to go to Woodward tomorrow? He's like, yeah. I was like, well, let's start driving now. We stayed up all night driving, got to his house, slept for 2 hours, went to Woodward, drove all night home.
Yeah, and then
That's a
there's
mission.
another time they were up there because it was during Juju's tour.
Yeah.
The AO tour.
Yep.
Everyone was there, and I'm just stuck in Arizona, just chilling with family. And then they call me up. They're like, "Where are you at, bro? Like, you should come down here." They're like, "We're going to Woodward tomorrow," and I'm like, "All right, maybe." And I was like, "I'll call you back in 5 minutes. Let me make a few phone calls." And then literally, I called some homies, fucking checked flights, and then I was like, "All right, coming out." Flew out the next day.
Dude, another thing is an example with your guys' Oregon tour, how impulsive that was.
Oh, that was me
That was
too.
That was
legendary.
impulsive as fuck.
Tell me about that from your perspective.
From my perspective, it was
Okay,
him
yeah,
somewhat
that's-
getting invited to go on the Undialed tour with you guys, and then there's like came to a thing where there wasn't gonna be enough people inside the van to ride, and he calls me all bummed out, and I wasn't even supposed to go. It was just him going on the tour, and he
Yeah.
told me about it, and he's like, "Man, I might drive. You want to come with?" I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to come with. I'm like, I'm supposed to be going to Vegas this weekend. I was like, I'll just hop in the car. We'll go to my house, and then we'll go all the way to Oregon. Fuck it. That's exactly what happened. I drove all the way to Vegas, like within 2 days. We drove all the way to my house, 9 hours back, and then another 8 hours up to Oregon to meet up with you guys.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, literally though.
That was my perspective. I had no clue. He just called me asking if I wanted to go, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to go.
I got a little bit
Bored in
more,
the Ville.
more detail to it. So, literally, so we were at Easy Grind one day.
Yeah.
And I knew you guys were going on tour, and this is when we just first started kind of to get to know each other, me, you, and Clayton. So,
Oh, and that's when I was filming your clip.
Yeah, you
and I
were-
yelling at you.
Yeah, you were filming me do a Bri kickless bar, and I bodied myself.
Yeah,
I
you
was
did.
Getting bodied for this clip. It was right when they rebuilt AZ Grind, the new box. And so I was like, yo, Will, like, if I land this right here, you gotta let me come on tour with you guys. And then you're like, I bet.
That's literally what happened.
And then literally, I fucking go up, do the trick, get stabbed in the stomach by my bars.
Yeah, you get
and I didn't
bodied
I didn't even
again.
land it. And you're like, and Will's like, you know what? You could still come on this tour. And then so like we didn't really do too much communication. I think that's where we.
Can I tell you from my point of view?
Yeah.
So after I'm like, all right, Grant's gonna come on the tour, and then Hunter, I think you hit me up. You somehow got into it. I call up Seth, the person who's like I'm getting the tour
Yeah.
organized with, and I'm like, hey Seth, there's 2 more people coming on, and you can't negotiate it. Sorry. And he's like, but there's no room in the van, and I'm like, oh, damn it, Seth. Oh, all right. And then you guys just like, and I was like, damn, like, what if they don't come? But then you guys,
So from that point,
yeah,
after that phone call, Seth, I'm pretty sure, literally called me right after and let me know I couldn't go. And so, like at this point, I had bought my plane ticket like $200, like cheapest one, so it's not refundable.
yeah.
And then
my
so
bad.
no, it's all good, and because everything worked out great.
Yeah.
And literally, so I called. Like at this point, I'm just sitting in my room because it's like, I think 2 days before the actual tour. You guys are already out there, I'm pretty sure. But it was like 2 days before I was supposed to leave, and so I was like, "Fuck, dude!" I was so hyped to go. So I call Hunter. Well, first I tell my mom I can't go and ask her if we could refund the plane ticket, which obviously we couldn't. But then I call his phone like, yo, are you down to drive to Oregon with me? And he's like, yeah. Like, no questions asked. Just, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Let's go. And then so he drove down to Vegas. Night he got there, damn near broke his leg.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah.
bro, that was so whacked. I sprained my ankle so bad.
Yeah, literally the night we got there, we go
Still
to
messed
Anthem
up.
for like 5 minutes, just does a flip, almost snaps his ankle. And then
Dislocated my knee
we
a
go
little
to, my girlfriend takes us to this, what was it, 4th of July or something?
Oh, that little party thing?
There was some party for some holiday.
Yeah, it was 4th of July, damn near.
And we were out till like 4 a.m. just getting lit, like just like this like Spanish music party, fucking getting lit. And then literally 4 a.m. wake up next day, this fool's all hungover, fucking can't drive. So I drive the whole 9 hours to Vacaville from Vegas. And we wake up at like midday, like 12. So we get there at 9 p.m., 10 p.m.
I had this full pullover so many times on the drive
Yeah.
home because I was just yakking from how hungover I was.
Like,
Oh,
like
no.
5 times pulled over. He was slumped the whole way too. Like I had no one to
I
talk
felt
to.
so bad, dude. I was hiding under a blanket with the window down with the breeze blowing in my face.
Yeah. I've been there before.
I was fucked up, dude.
Yeah, and from there we made it to Oregon, and it was great. I'm so hyped we made that happen.
And now you're on SoFlo, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
and it
they-
all happened because of that tour,
yeah,
right?
They called, SoFlo called me, and they're like, "Yo, sorry, can't come." And then after the tour, new pro rider Grant Lewis. Here we are.
Hey,
Yes,
I feel like that is such a little story for life, though. It's like even when you get like, for everything except women, even when you get the no, you still should persist, you know? And it's like once again, everything but women, you know, like once even if you get the no, still persist, because that persistence could definitely like lead to an opportunity. I feel like there's so many opportunities that I have in my life has been because I I haven't met the person halfway. I've met the person at 100% their way and being like, yo, I made the journey. Like, here I am, you know?
Yeah,
and
no,
I
for
feel
sure.
like that's so much of life. And half of the time in life, no one's going to meet you halfway. You have to do the entire journey by yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm stoked that you guys right now are like taking those risks and taking those going on those faith journeys. You know what I mean?
I love it. I think it's all part of my lifestyle. I like to claim our lifestyles as a full
We'll be on those journeys, and we'll just be like, fuck, dude, we got no money.
Yeah.
Trying to DoorDash.
Yeah.
Do you guys DoorDash on
Yeah,
those trips?
every day.
Dude, people ask us how we travel so much. It's because we DoorDash. We can literally
Yeah,
DoorDash
DoorDash,
anywhere we
Instacart.
want.
That's
every day.
That's gas, dude.
Yeah.
That's the hack.
The only
Fucking hustle.
thing that saves our asses, dude, is because like
If it wasn't
me
for
right
DoorDash,
now.
we wouldn't be able to make money like that.
Yeah, like
There ain't
he
shit
at
in
least
scootering,
can make like a little bit of money from the sponsors and being on a pro
which
contract.
definitely helps so
I'm
much.
only on SoFlo and Fat Shack. Shout out Fat Shack too. But the checks don't come in. There's no checks coming in from scootering at the moment. So it's all
At the
from-
moment.
No, not
But
at the
soon.
moment. Yeah, hopefully soon.
Hey, if you keep that mindset, it will. That's the
'cause
biggest
that's-
key to getting
yeah.
paid in scootering. Even when you're sponsored by the brand, you still have to be that persistent asshole to get your check every month. Well, at least not for me anymore. But when I was on district, hell yeah, like that's still part of it. Like you still have to, yeah.
And like a main thing for me is like I don't really care too much about the money. I'm just obsessed with the lifestyle that we live. Mm-hmm. Like
See, that's the other thing too. Is like
yeah.
I feel like money can be a little destination piece, but the journey is what matters. And
I really just enjoy the memories too that we make. Like
isn't it crazy how slow time has gone for you guys?
Oh, dude,
I
it's actually
think
the opposite, I feel like.
dude.
You guys were just talking about, yo, how long ago we were like back when they were building the box at AZ
It's
Grind.
because we got so
that was
much
like
to
six.
talk about.
That was like
Yeah.
6 months
But it
ago.
flies by so fast, dude.
Yeah, it sucks honestly.
I think it goes by slow living this fast lifestyle, and here's why. I feel like when you work a job every single day and you look back on your past over the last 6 months, it's like, damn, that was kind of just a big blur. But when you live the lifestyle like how me and Clayton live, or like how you guys live, it's like every single day is so different that when you look back on the 6 months, it can't blur together. It has to, like, it's all sectioned off, and that's what I mean about appearing long.
Yeah.
That's
like-
why I need photos, though, so I can remember that shit.
Yeah,
Because I don't even
'cause-
remember half the shit I do sometimes.
True.
Yeah, being on the level that we're at of scootering is like we go so high up in the air. We take hard falls. Like people don't understand. Like they think like a lot of people will say that we're not as crazy as per se a skater or a biker. And it's like we take just as crazy as fucking slams as they do. And it's like people don't understand the damage that really does. Like getting 5 concussions as a 13, 14, 15-year-old, that permanently damages your brain for life. So it's definitely hard to remember everything that we do. And like thank God for Snapchat memories, because I wouldn't remember shit from like 4 years ago. So like from right now. Like it's wild.
True.
But
Yeah.
I can go back and look at the memory and tell you exactly about almost how that day went.
I
need a little,
just
like,
gotta
fresh
see.
up.
Yeah, you gotta have the refresh for sure.
Going on to the topic where you were about to say like people don't think scootering is as hard as
Yeah.
and I think scootering is borderline the hardest action sport.
I think it's
And
crazy.
I think everything is equally hard.
so let me explain why I think scootering is the hardest action sport. So a scooter is 100% metal, and metal is very hard relative to wood, which is a lot softer. I'm just kidding. On a physical level, it's a lot harder. But actually, on like what you were saying, Hunter, it's like I think that all of action sports are just these infinite spectrums, right? Like you can always add a whip, you can always add a bar. Even when you add the bar to the thing that you wanted to add the bar to, you could always add another bar. You know, you could always take it up one more notch. So
yeah.
when you have infinity compared to infinity, it's like, which is the biggest one? It's like, well, they're all infinity, you know?
That's why I said every single thing has its own, like...
But what I think makes scootering harder than skateboarding is in order to skateboard, in order to scooter, you have to be a player on this planet called Earth, right? You have to be on Earth, and you have to deal with society. That is always a factor in skateboarding. That is always a factor in scootering is the world around you. There's no one that's ever skateboarded in this hypothetical sense where there's no such thing as culture.
Yeah.
Right? So when culture is a heavy weighing thing. And it's not as socially acceptable to be a scooter rider as it is a skateboarder.
True.
And at one point in time, it really wasn't socially acceptable to be a skateboarder. In the early days of skateboarding, it wasn't socially acceptable.
Yeah, you're labeled like a criminal pretty much at first.
But now, since all the certain demographics, certain group of people went through that hard point of no recognition, so that way this new generation of kids don't have to deal with that, and they're just validated.
That's
right?
how I feel with us.
And
it's like we have to go through that.
And I feel like if you get into something and you don't have to like prove to not only yourself but like this worldwide culture, it's like that would be a lot easier than going into activity where you also have to prove it to yourself and you have to prove it to this world. You know, I think that's a lot easier of a task. Like to feel like secure about yourself, I think it's a lot easier task to take up skateboarding than it is to take up scootering.
Yeah,
even though you could be like, well, a tail whip is a lot easier than a kickflip. It's like, okay. Like,
yeah, it's
So
like
you're kind of just saying like the mentality that's behind scootering
I'm
and
saying-
getting yourself to keep doing it, or
like the culture that's like the people that are like, oh, you're a scooter fag, you're a scooter bitch.
but I'm saying like I am considered an anomaly. Clayton's considered an anomaly because we 100% live off scootering. It's like, and the way that we make that work is we do our own versions of DoorDash, right? I do graphic design work. Clayton does his own side hustles. And it's like, that's how we get things to work. For the most part, it's all Undialed. For the most part, it's all our scooter sponsors. And like, I'm grateful for that. But I'm one of the few. I'm a unicorn, right? And
it's a great way to describe you, Will, as a unicorn.
And it's like there's no route in scootering that's secure. There's no route in scootering that's like if you get the Adidas sponsor, you're good. You know, and it's like there's entire teams of people within skateboarding that like, oh, you got the sponsor, you're good. Go travel and do your thing now. That's your job. And it's like that's my biggest goal in scootering is like we got to make a path visible for the kid scooter riders that they can be like okay, up here if I hit this box, I can live off scootering. You know, and I've always kind of just made up that box and I've kind of just like thought I've clicked it, but like I want to make a for sure box that kids can like look towards and try to get to.
Yeah,
and
like a real goal,
like a real
way to live your life.
So that way, when they tell their parents about it, they can validate. Their parents can validate them because their parents won't think they're wasting time. You know, and it's like
that's definitely a huge part of it as well. As once you get to a certain age, your parents stop supporting it.
Exactly.
If you're not at a certain level.
But if there was real money behind it, that conversation would never happen.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so it's like what has to happen for that? There has to be a new framework within scootering. There has to be a structured framework.
just more career opportunities. Parents don't see that now. They just see kids on a scooter that are old.
And what I think is so cool, but also scary, is it's very cool because like right now there's so many positions within scootering that haven't been created yet. Like full-time, well-paying jobs within scootering that just haven't been created yet. And it's like all of those seats are technically open right now. They just need a boss to like open them up. And it's like who those bosses going to be. It's like,
that's the big question.
Well, like right now, the whole scooter community is kind of like looking around at each other, waiting for the people to be like, I am the one. You know, it's like, and
Everyone's so scared.
they are, and it's interesting to me.
A lot of people are trying to make money too.
Everyone's trying to make money, but I feel like a lot of people aren't willing to make money that they're just going to put back into scootering. Right, all the money that you make, it just goes back into scootering. Like you're in that constant like grind circle, and I don't think people are willing to spend their time doing that. You know, and
for scootering,
and it's like. I think the people who really get into this grind set, and are willing to go that extra long distance, because scootering is so young, we need people to go that extra long distance, and it's like that is going to solidify like the framework of scootering and like the what goes into it. So
Yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
very excited to see the future of scootering.
I don't like how everybody claims like I'm a pro scooter rider. I feel like there
Yeah.
needs to be a bigger extent from a pro scooter rider and like
Do you know what I consider a pro
Somebody
scooter
like-
rider? Like not publicly. Like if I had to,
like somebody with signature parts or something.
no. What I wouldn't like. I don't even know what format I would say this in that would be like addressing the community. But like, I think that if you're a professional scooter rider, scootering's your profession, and in order for it to be your profession, it has to be your job, and it has to be the thing that gets you by. So I would consider myself, yes, a professional scooter rider. But would I consider I'm not even thinking of a specific person, but just the person that has a manufacturing brand that doesn't get paid from them that also works a job. They could be in pro competitions in the pro class, but like, is that their profession? No.
But then there's people like me that don't
Yeah.
have the big sponsor yet, but are at the same level as the big sponsor
And then
people.
that'd be like the other way around too,
Yeah.
is people.
But I feel like if
that can
anything,
make money but aren't quite there.
But I feel like if anything, like you guys are kind of pros because your profession is scootering.
Yeah.
Although you're not directly getting paid from scootering, it's like that's what you're spending your time on.
Oh, no, for
that's what you're
sure.
spending
Yeah.
your greatest resource on.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like that is your profession. You do jobs to fuel your
Well, there's a lot of people that do the same shit, but it's on a whole different level. Like somebody could do all that shit down here, but somebody could do it up here, and these people could still be considering themselves pro because they're working maybe just as hard as this person, but they're not quite there yet.
yeah.
So I feel like there should be a bigger bar between being a pro and somebody who isn't. Like in skateboarding, a big thing I've heard is that you have to have a signature deck to be a pro. That's when you really became a pro, when like a company comes to you and gives you your signature skateboard. And it usually comes together as like a big team thing. It's like they set it up like unrecognizably. Like you won't even know when you're getting your sig deck. And the next thing you know, you got your sig deck and shit, and then you're a pro skater. Like I feel like that's how it is, and that's really fucking hype because you don't know when you're going to be pro.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
you and that keeps that bubble of like hype. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
But then again, to get signature stuff, you also have to clout. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I keep leaning. But I feel like, yeah, you gotta have clout to do a lot of things nowadays.
that's like the
Yeah,
other
that's-
variable in it, right?
Yeah, you're not making money if you don't got followers. Mm-hmm. It's
I see people that are so good that deserve more than they're getting, and people that are ass. That
so
fucking-
like me.
bad. There's like
I want to
just-
call it out so bad, but I'm not saying it.
just like I think the whole TikTok app in general is just bad for bad for our minds.
Yeah.
Especially
TikTok
especially
sucks.
the younger kids right now in this world, they are gonna grow up so like different compared to everybody else that's already here.
TikTok has me stuck on it, dude. I can't imagine
Yeah.
what these
It's
little kids are
insane
doing.
how good that algorithm is. It's incredible how good that algorithm
they
is.
get the stuff you like quick to you, and then you
Yeah.
just keep scrolling to the
And that-
next, and then it gets more and more on your feed.
That's the problem, is that the main videos that are going viral that people are focusing on making is short, flashy eye candy videos, and then that, in my opinion, ruins for other like kids and the younger generation. Like they want to see those quick videos, not waste 10 minutes of their time watching a whole length video. You know what I mean? They don't want to know all the information. They just want to see parts of everything. I think I don't think that's very good for us or the younger generation either. I don't know.
True. I just bumped it, Clayton. I feel like it's also just ruining attention span in general.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
You know what I think is crazy? Like, I think there's definitely people who have ADHD out there and ADD, but I think there's more people out there being medicated for it than people that actually have it. You know, and I think that a big factor of ADHD and ADD is how your upbringing was, you know, and like early on as like an early kid, it's like how your life was. But I can't see that TikTok is gonna improve the numbers,
Yeah,
the
no.
percentages of ADHD and ADD. Like if your attention is on this, and the longest you ever have to keep it is 3 minutes, you know, and then it's immediately onto something else, immediately onto something else, immediately onto something else, having no boredom in your life, that kid is gonna suck.
Yeah. And I even getting like for me it's like it's hard being bored, cuz it's like going and hanging out with this fool and all the other homies. It's like we have the greatest time of like that we could possibly imagine. Like it's just always a fun time. It's like going back home per se is like being bored
I
sucks.
literally get depressed when I go back home.
Yeah.
I go back home to nobody. Like my couple of friends that I hang out with who all work, I'll be gone for 3 months to go home, to all of them be at work, to not be able to hang out with nobody. And I'm kind of just bored, don't know what to do with myself. Go DoorDash to make money because that's all I know I can do, and I can't even do that all the time. So, like, yeah.
Yeah, our lives are literally scooters. Like, that's the same. Like, I go home, I visit my girlfriend, help her out as much as I can, and then I hang out with family. And it's like, other than that, it's back to the scooter life, just traveling. It's like, that's all my friends and shit. Like, even all my OG friends from back in high school and shit. It's only like 2 or 3 of them at this point. But all they know me for is like traveling now. They're like, oh, when are you coming home fucking next month? Like,
That's how it was for me. When I got to a point as well where I just hated my hometown so much that it was anything that I could do to go away. You know what I mean? And I hated the people in my hometown. I hated just everything about it. So yeah, I would just be on the road for anything. Like I was at Clayton's house all the time. I was at Derek Marr's house. I was at
nice to see how
anywhere but Castro Valley.
And I always feel like I gotta continue doing something to keep my happiness. I'm not really like, can't sit there and just chill, dude. Like I get so bored and it just irritates my soul to the max. Like I have to be doing something.
Yeah, I can't stay in a state longer than, I want to say 2.5 weeks. I gotta move states after like 2.5, 3 weeks.
New state, new vibe.
Unless
That's one thing I'm scared about moving here and
I
fucking
think
getting bored too and
that's
irritated.
what I'm saying. I think the only way for me to settle down somewhere is with the whole gang. Like,
And I feel like Arizona wouldn't be a bad spot. 'Cause
no, I
it's
think
pretty
it's
central.
perfect.
Like you guys want to go to Texas, Colorado.
I think it's perfect.
I think Texas is sick and all that's sick, but it doesn't have the scene that I want and the
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, but I'm just saying if the
Arizona's
whole
for
crew
us.
is down here, y'all can make crew trips to wherever.
yeah.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. That's like the main goal is like we don't want to have to spend.
That's another thing, because we know as soon as we get a house, this whole traveling shit's going to be even harder than it is now. Because we're going to have to be paying bills for rent. We're going to have to be paying bills for this. And how the fuck are we going to be paying to get ourselves places?
Yeah, that's why our main focus right now is just the whole social media grind.
Yeah.
Like we have to get our names out there in order to.
Do you know why
these
Clayton and I
things.
started Undialed? As a means to make rent.
Yeah.
That was literally the entire first reason. Reason number one. Why does Undialed exist? To pay rent.
We need money.
Yeah.
And it was like, that's literally what it was. When we first started Undialed, we were in a parking lot practicing manuals, and I was like, I was thinking really hard. And I was like, dude, it would be like, and I told Clayton, I was like, dude, it would be stupid if we didn't start a company. Like, I have a name, you have a name. It'd be so stupid if we didn't do something, right? Like, we're both trying to achieve the same goal of paying rent right now. We might as well like take advantage of our names. And I feel like, honestly, that's what your crew needs to do. I've been trying to push for like a new emerging type of crew within scootering. I was getting Addison hyped up for like Valley Heat,
Yeah.
and
I mean, we've all talked about that. Like, we look
Yeah.
up to Undialed as such a thing because you guys have made it in scootering to where we
Yeah.
want to be in the future.
and really like what needs to happen is like you guys just need to like convince people that it's important. Like the only reason Undialed is important is we convince y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, you guys were nothing. You guys were just like us.
Yeah, and it's like you just you guys just got to put yourself out there, and you guys once again just follow like the steps. It's like there's going to be times that feel like you're on top of the world where like nothing can tear y'all's group down, where like you'll get like a fat check and you'll be like, damn, like we're good, you know. And then you're gonna have times that feel like the opposite of that, where it's like, dude, I don't know how we're gonna make rent this month, everyone's stressing, and it's like it falls back down to that same thing. It's like, all right, what's the next step? Even if it's
Yeah.
like getting a glass of water to like think about what the next step is. The next step is getting a glass of water. All right, dope. Next step is sitting on the couch. All right, dope. Next step is talking about the things. It's like it's just one step at a time through everything.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when you get through those really hard points, you know, it was great. And
Yeah, everything gets better with time. You just gotta.
I think it would be really stupid if y'all didn't move in together, because the content that you guys are gonna make, the experiences that you guys are gonna make, even if you have to tone back traveling just a little bit, the fact that none of y'all will be in your hometown, the fact that y'all, like, for a lot of the reason y'all travel is to be with each other.
We travel to here anyways, dude.
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah, I love
you have
coming here.
you have so many resources here. It's like, yeah, you guys are gonna like have to pay rent and like pay for, but it's like all of your guys' places that you guys want to go to film are relatively close. Like
Yeah.
Vegas 4 hours, San Diego 6 hours. You know, it's like these are short trips for y'all. I think y'all should do it. I think that would be really sick.
We're definitely committed to making that happen this year.
Oh, the owl! He caught himself.
I don't know. It's just been hard to get everybody to really be convinced to make that leap, since it is such a big decision, because everyone's going to be hit with bills, and that's so much stress on everyone's shoulders. And
If y'all have 5 people though in a house in Queen Creek,
Yeah.
that's like
I think
300
I'm gonna
ahead.
get pissed off at people, bro.
Yeah, I'm not scared though.
I don't like when people don't pick up after themselves. Like, I just want people to be clean to a
But
sense.
we know who we want. You know what I mean? We know who's.
But it's still not even that. Like, I would get irritated living with you. You would get
Yeah.
irritated living with me.
That happens regardless, though. No
But
matter.
5 people.
I get irritated living with Clayton.
5 people.
He
dude.
never showers.
I have been with this group of people and just want to leave, dude. Like, just, oh my gosh. Like, is this going to work out in the future sometimes?
Yeah.
But it's just like, fuck. Like, it has to. Like, gotta
Hey,
make some needs work.
Just like anything else in y'all's life, right? You're gonna have to send it to figure out if it's gonna work or
Yeah.
not. There's no.
Yeah, it's
I
full
actually,
send.
you know what? Fuck that. Fuck everything I said. I have an idea. Why don't you guys just do? You go back to Vacaville. You back to Vegas. Y'all just sit in your rooms. Don't leave your room. Metaverse comes out. Y'all can get the group together in the Metaverse. See if it works in the Metaverse. If it does, then y'all get the house. But until then, I think it's too risky that you guys do anything.
Wait till the metaverse comes. We'll make our decisions there. Can't be too quick in the real world.
Yeah, I don't think you should try triple flares ever in like
I think you should
the
do it
reality.
for-
Yeah, dude. I
Wait
might
for the
get hurt.
wait for the Metaverse. You know.
See if I can save my body. You know,
Yeah,
maybe I
yeah.
can do some world's firsts in the metaverse.
Yeah, dude. Oh, who's gonna do the first tail whip in the Metaverse?
Dude,
Probably Coda.
I am.
this stuff is gonna be legendary.
You know, Coda invented the tail whip.
Did he really?
No.
You didn't know that?
No.
There's no way.
No.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. I wonder who really did land the first fucking tail whip.
Wim Opelberger.
Is that
Is
like
that
confirmed?
actual like?
Facts?
There wasn't no kid just with a razor one day just
I
whipping
don't
it around.
know.
And, like,
He's
I
just the
could
guy that
fucking do this.
invented the micro scooter. He invented the fold-up scooter.
So he's the most well-known first person. 'Cause there could be.
Can I
people
tell you
before us.
how a scooter got invented? I did a
Yeah.
whole like research project about it. It's ridiculous.
Let's hear
Like
it.
why the actual reason a scooter was invented.
Yeah, I mean, it seems literally the mix between a bike and a skateboard.
There was a guy who would go. His name is Wim Opelberger. He would go, and he was tired of walking to the hot dog stand. So he's like, I'm gonna create something that can be like not quite a bike,
Literally.
but like, you know, I can fold it up so that way I can walk with it. So he invented the scooter to go get hot dogs.
To get hot dogs.
To get hot dogs.
That's
Get
funny.
some glizzies.
We ride an invented toy to go get hot dogs.
That was
what our toy was
that was the
originally
fold
made
up.
for.
That was the fold up.
Yeah.
The original one was the scooting
OG.
star.
Yeah. Now we got these crazy built freaking. We got scooters that are the same width as damn near skateboard decks now. We got a 7 wide and what skate decks.
Where do you guys think it's gonna stop? What do you think is gonna be like the one where it's like, all right, you're just getting memed at this point? Like
Anything past a 6, I think, dude.
what?
You think
No,
seven wides are too big, too small?
You think my scooter looks like stupid on
how
me?
wide is
No.
yours?
6.5.
Oh, well, dude, I honestly haven't ridden a deck that big.
I
can
think-
just see from perspective. I feel like because if I ride at 5 sometimes, I'd be turning and my deck hits the damn thing. So like I couldn't imagine being on a 6.57 and you can barely fucking turn because your deck's scraping the ground.
I think it just depends on how you're built, like how big your feet are, how big you are. Like I think you should find, like I think everyone has their own size.
to an extent because
I
the
think
deck can
8
only
is
go
gonna be
so
the
far
cutoff.
off the ground.
I think 8's the cutoff.
It's got like that much room of leaning space. It's gonna.
Yeah, I definitely think 8's a little pushy.
Yeah, I think
Shouldn't it be wider than a
7,
skateboard?
6. I don't know, dude. Like
The
6.
seven,
max.
7's is what it's at right now. 7's the widest it is.
It looks wild.
But
I see kids on Instagram Explore page all the time riding a wide.
childish Flambino.
Yeah, dude, they get steezy on them though. It's funny. I like watching it. Like I like watching kids that just meme it for fun, just ride it for fun.
Yeah, it's
Try to
sick.
do steezy stuff. I think it's cool. I do not approve of the Indo scooters.
Oh yeah, no.
Those things are.
I mean,
freaking-
yes, Indo, we love you. No, just kidding.
I'm sorry.
I'm
but-
just kidding. I don't have any attachment to them.
Like, they're just
Watch
so
watch the owner of
flimsy.
Indo, like he hears about these on this podcast. I don't like these two. What is it in Glizzy and Hunter?
I just
Where
think it's-
where is it? Oh, there's White Trash Willie. That's where he says he doesn't like Indo.
It's so far from an actual scooter, like in its
Yeah.
lightness. Like nothing from a
Paperweight.
Indo is realistic onto a normal scooter. Like why wouldn't you want to have something kind of realistic to where we could do shit from a trampoline to a skate park? Instead of
just-
something you just fucking fling around that's like now.
I'm just gonna say it. Coming from a scooter rider that thinks scootering is sick, that type of scootering is whack.
Yes.
I'm gonna say it.
like
Whack.
like I think
Whack.
I think Byram's is pushing it a lot because he's the one I see mainly
Probably
doing
getting
like
paid for it.
the flat tricks. Like the trampoline.
That's even worse than the trampoline
Yeah, the
shit.
trampoline
the
stuff-
flat shit is
Dude.
like, bro, you got the opportunity to ride your scooter and you're riding that. Like, I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
Like, if the only you live in some metaverse, right, where the only thing around you is grass. Okay, I guess.
Yeah, if
I
you
guess
can't
that's it.
physically ride on the
funny.
concrete, then yeah.
That's hilarious.
What I think is crazy, you saw Jaw Reyes do like the flat tricks on it.
Not
He's
on
do-
the Indo.
No.
Oh, yeah, he posts Indo tricks every once in a while.
What?
Yeah,
What
I
does he
saw
do?
he hunches his bar,
Oh
his, like,
my fuck.
and he like spins around on the bars
On the Indo?
while the scooter's like planted on the ground. Like, he's like, woo.
What? I've only saw it like try to be whipped around. I couldn't imagine John hopping on one of those.
I just love seeing the little kids on their trampoline, just kick, like it's just kickless. Like that's the trick with that scooter. It's just kickless.
Yeah, and
Bah, 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 bah,
Bryce.
bah.
Like with the flat, I always see kids trying to like bry whip. Like, and I've seen kids like set up chairs and stuff and jump off
Yeah,
the chairs
yeah,
the flat to get extra height.
Off like stages and stuff.
It's like, dude, what the heck are you doing? Learn on a real scooter, man.
What do you classify as a real scooter? Because a lot of people don't classify like hanky palm scooter as a real scooter.
I mean,
If you can roll on it, does it count?
well, yeah. I mean, you know, there's motorized scooters or mopeds. And then
Does
there's
he
these
actually
bird
have scooter
scooters.
wheels on there though?
No.
So I feel like that should be like, not really. Like, throw some 110s on there. We'll start talking.
Okay.
I
okay.
just-
You're cheating.
Or hundreds. Hundreds are acceptable.
Yeah, because those were made.
Those are scooter wheels.
Yeah.
I
But
just think
rollerblade
there's-
wheels.
Ripstick
Come on now.
wheels.
Come on now. You're trying to cheat.
I don't know. I just think there's different categories for scootering because
Mm-hmm.
like you have these bird electric scooters that are fun as shit to like just mob around and go fast on, and then there's Kodo
That
with
shit
this
is
new
all
race,
flat ground, so you do want something light.
and then there's like these new scooter racing thing that Koda's what's he doing promoting. It's
Yeah,
where you
yeah, that, like-
race on these like 100-mile-per-hour scooters that are
Also, like, low key-
Those look wild.
Yeah,
I want to do that.
Yeah,
That
me
sounds
too.
fun. But like,
Get suited up and stuff, like a NASCAR driver, and go ride scooters.
yeah. But I also like. Isn't a motorcycle just like a better version? Like, I get that it's like a scooter. Like, that's sick. It's a scooter. But I feel like
I think this shit is like made to be a little bit more dangerous.
You maybe.
I think it really is
think
because
it
you'll
really
get
is,
fucked.
yeah.
Like 2 people on a scooter running into each other, you're gonna get off balance.
Imagine
going
going
like
to
70
80.
miles around a turn.
Imagine going 80,
bumping
falling
into
on your
each
scooter
other.
at 80.
And then getting ran over some bullshit. Hell no.
That's all people really want to see too is us getting hurt.
Yeah. Real talk.
They want to see the good stuff go bad.
Yeah. Yikes. Humanity. But anyway, boys, you guys anything? Y'all got anything last to say? You got anything on your chest that you just want to get out?
I hate the judges for scooter competitions. Not the judges personally, but I hate
But the
judging.
consistency.
Yeah, and like Australia is so much more better, like worked out. I mean, I talked to Russo Projects, and he told me that if you want to have a condo, well, but he obviously got a different opinion. But Russo was telling me like if you want to have a contest in Australia, you have to have these trained judges to actually come out to judge your competition, instead of like being able to hire a random person who doesn't know. Really,
I
what
don't
their
know if
skills are
that's
that they're
true.
judging.
I
This
don't-
is what I was told from Russo when
Yeah.
I went to Australia.
Where do they get certified? Is there like a class?
He told me that they actually like have like things that they have to go through to get trained to be judges, and if you want to throw a scooter competition, you have to fly these judges out.
Yeah, that's what Maddie C told me too.
And so I believe like those judges, like
Hey,
they know
well,
what
if-
they're looking for, and they're trained to do it. And instead of just like inviting somebody who's like hasn't ridden their scooter in a year, somebody who's washed up, like maybe let's have someone trained, and like all these people actually trained to know what they're looking for to get down to these specifics. And instead of maybe like having them plugged into a computer system with the live scoring right away, I think that's messed up sometimes because you can't really like judge one run off the other run and like get the positions right. So like I'd want to have the judges be able to talk, watch the scooter runs again, go back and really decide like who they believe should have won instead of just making it down to the final scores because everybody sees the scores and they're like, yo, this don't seem right because this
Yeah.
person went at the beginning, this person went last. But if they were to like,
And then the
give
curve changed by the
a
time.
day of them for like, bro, I'll wait a day to get my announcements. If it's
Yeah, and
real
they could-
fucking judging, like if you want to come down to it and get technical, we could get technical. And like, it's not technical for shit right now.
No, it's not.
I think
I
it
hate
should
this
be, like I think it'd be because I look at football and I look at baseball and I'm just like, yeah, like you know these are the sports we grew up with that are like, you know, like you grew up playing the regular sports. You know what I mean? I think if scootering was filmed like they do football, how they have the camera that just goes side, go anywhere that you need it to go. I think if it was
Like how Barcelona's filmed.
yeah, how Barcelona was filmed, just how you guys did that. Like, I think if every comp was like that, we'd be golden. I think it'd be a more official.
That and money. I've heard so many
Yeah.
kids go, bruh, if 10 grand was up for best trick right now, bruh, I'd fucking double flip this gap. And people want to see that shit. And we don't got money to be thrown into scooters like that.
Yeah, and we don't.
So
our
people are
bodies
really, yeah, we're not showing everything scooters could show.
yeah, if we
There's
had-
more money being presented, the tricks would get crazier.
120 million%. I stopped myself because there's only $500, $100 on the line because what's not fucking worth
Yeah, you
breaking my
got,
arm for,
it's
bro.
not gonna pay your hot. Like person like me, I don't even have insurance. Like I don't have the money to take a fall like any fall that's gonna break a bone in my body. So it's like doing those per se learning a double flare. Like I can't even want to learn that without having money in my pocket. You know what I mean? So it's like you can't want to learn something when you're gonna like get hurt so bad that you can't even pay for it. So when you have money on the line, especially when it's like 25 bands, something like that, that changes the whole perspective of it.
I also feel like it changes the mindset towards the trick. It becomes a life-changing opportunity.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
feel like a lot of the times, like $500 is not going to change your life. But like $50,000 might change your life.
I'm about to do a talent show for 40,000.
Yeah?
And on Thursday, I'm gonna do it at Easy Grind.
Hell yeah.
That's finals. He already did qualify.
And this is nothing to do with scootering. Not as every single person that was invited to this thing either sang or did something inside of a room that did not involve like any type of real fear or like anything that really was like scary. It was just like a whole bunch of singing and bullshit. And I feel like there are so many people watching people sing and have money into something so fucking stupid as a talent show. Why the fuck can't we have $40,000 into scootering and something where people will actually get shit done to show the youth and like encourage more kids to do crazier shit instead of sit down in their room and do some dumb shit, like behind a fucking computer. Like, there's money behind that. Why can't there be money behind, like, real activities?
Yeah, some real hard shit that takes real life talent. You know what I mean? Like,
Fortnite's cool, but that shit ain't worth, like, millions
So
of dollars
basically,
in
what,
games.
what we have to figure out now, this is a very critical piece in scootering, is we have to figure out basically the format of viewing scootering. Because right now, viewing scootering is doo-doo. Going to a scooter contest sucks.
Do you remember all the SDs, bro?
But no, listen to me real quick. Going to a scooter contest, we do it because we're in it,
Now
right?
they suck, yes.
They're boring, right? Imagine being like a girlfriend for a scooter rider at one of these events. Like, I feel bad for you. Like, you have to sit here for 12 hours and like watch your boo go for 2 minutes of the day, and then the rest of the time it's just like, I guess they're gonna start soon. I'm like, you know, it's like, it's like this dragged out thing, you know. So, the whole framework of viewing scootering has to change, because in order to get those big checks, in order to get those big monies, in order to get all of the things that we want, we need to first get more eyes on the scootering. Video games are real easy to get eyes on because all of it is on a screen. Every single bit of it is on a screen. So the POV of the person playing the game can be the same POV that people watch and tip. So that makes it a real easy way to relate with the person who's playing the game. What we need to do as scootering is we need to first create a format that's hard to argue a winner. That's the biggest thing. The next thing is we need to have a format that's faster. We can't have all these all day events, right?
That's why I believe it's kind of cool with like how Barcelona's Extreme splits it up in a couple days. They get all the riders that fucking didn't qualify, and then they get the big top 10 on TV that are gonna be shown.
Yeah, I think it
so they don't waste all this time.
And then continuing that, it's like we really need to create these personas around the people who are in the sport.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like we have some names there, you know, like we got these big names in the sport: Raymond Warner, Cody Flom, Chris Ferris, like me, Clayton. And it's like the only reason that we're, I guess, set a little bit higher is like because we have a little bit more of a story, you know what I mean? And I feel like what's got to happen is the next generation of riders. It's like, why is NASCAR so popular? Why do people care about NASCAR? Personally, I think that Dale Earnhardt is the reason that people care about NASCAR at all, because he went out there and he was just an asshole. He would go out there, he would get into crashes. He made that sport entertaining. He really did. And it's like, we need to have like those same type of riders come into scootering. Like, we need to have, like, as much as we don't like beef within the sport, we need to have competitive beef. Yeah, we need to have emotion. We need to have rivalries. We need to have friendships. You know, we need to have this emotional kind of thing that the viewers can be a part of,
that they can connect with.
Exactly. And it's like, that's the next thing, and that's actually something Clayton and I are working very hard on at this current moment. I wish I could go into more detail about it, but we're still figuring out the kinks of everything. But that's the next big thing that we really got to address is the structured side of scootering. We need to make it a structure that actually works.
Yeah, nah, for sure. We definitely need to take some more time and really get it certified, locked in as something good to go. It's not going to fall apart.
Absolutely. But yeah, besides from that, is there anything else you guys want to say?
You?
I already went on about the judging.
Well, hey. You got something?
Video part on the way.
You got a video part on the way?
Coming out very soon.
We actually have a lot of
we have a lot of stuff in the works
right now. He's filming his own video, I'm filming my own video, and then we got some group stuff going on.
Yeah, we got a lot of group stuff going on, individual stuff coming out first. So
Hell yeah. All right,
Very hyped.
one last thing I gotta say. So remember I was saying like you guys need to move in that house together.
Mm-hmm.
The reason you guys need to move in your house together is because you need to document who y'all are. So that way when y'all go to scooter competitions, people will be like, hey, I know their story. That's the biggest reason.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, I think you two are y'all just make me so happy in this sport. You guys remind me so much of like me 5 years ago, you know? Just on go mode, 110%, all gas, no brakes, just
Yeah.
Dude,
just
I love this shit.
just like
Yeah, me too.
riding on like burning oil, just trying to make it by, you know, but also just experiencing so many different climaxes in your life, so many different like cool experiences, like and
So much
and just
learning.
trying things out. Like the fact that like you guys exist, that you guys didn't just choose to go to college, that you guys
Yeah.
didn't just choose this easy path, that the fact that you guys
We're
are
both high school dropouts.
yeah, the fact that you guys are laying the bricks in front of you as you walk and creating your own path, going wherever you want and keeping a positive, like healthy mindset towards it all, like you guys are really killing it. And I only truly want the best success for you guys.
I appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
Coming from somebody I looked up to for so many years. So
Literally.
it's awesome to hear.
Scootering ain't gonna stop anytime soon. I got too many goals and too many people I need to make proud. So
Yeah, this was one goal crossed off the list. So that's awesome.
Grant's been talking to me about doing this podcast, bro, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm nervous to do a podcast. I don't even know what the fuck to say. Like, there were so many times where I just started sweating under my jacket and shit. Like, felt like my cheeks got red. I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, it's
This
different.
has definitely been a big goal for him.
Yeah, that's definitely a big goal for myself. So I'm
Well,
hyped.
I appreciate you guys coming on and
Of course. Thanks for having us.
thank you guys all for listening and
Yeah.
being a part of our conversation. But yeah, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your day, y'all.
Yep. Have a great night. Stay
Yep.
safe.
Like,
World's
comment, share,
crazy.
subscribe.
Yep.
Peace.